the silent language of unspoken love. The human heart is capable of harboring secrets that are both beautiful and devastatingly heavy. Among these, few burdens are as profound as loving someone in silence while the world remains, entirely unaware. This unique emotional state, often characterized by the phrase, breaking him inside, describes a man who is caught in a paralyzing tug of pull between his intense desire for connection and his overwhelming fear of vulnerability. For many men, societal expectations of emotional stoicism combine with a personal fear of rejection to create a silent protector persona. He becomes a fixture in your life, a reliable friend, a constant supporter, or a watchful observer, while internally navigating a storm of longing that he refuses to give a voice to. Understanding the anatomy of silent love requires looking past spoken words and focusing on the subtle, consistent patterns of behavior that reveal a deeper truth. When a man loves in silence, his actions become his only vocabulary. He doesn't have the luxury of "I love you" or the security of a labeled relationship, so he pours his devotion into the margins of your interactions. This manifests as an extraordinary level of attentiveness, a protective instinct that borders on the instinctual, and a willingness to sacrifice his own comfort just to see you smile. However, this level of devotion comes at a high psychological cost. Every time he helps you, listens to you, or watches you walk away, he is reminded of the invisible wall he has built between his heart and his lips. The phrase "breaking him inside" is not mere hyperbole. It refers to the exhausting mental and emotional labor required to maintain a facade of friendship. When one is feeling something much deeper, it is the pain of being close but not close enough. He experiences the joys of your presence, alongside the sharp stings of your unavailability. Whether he is distancing himself to manage his jealousy or mirroring your body language, to feel a sense of physical synchronization, his life becomes a complex game of concealment. He is essentially living two lives, the one you see, which is stable and supportive, and the one he lives alone, which is defined by the weight of everything he wishes he could say. For those on the outside looking in, identifying these signs is a lesson in nuance. It requires noticing the gaze that lingers a second too long, the memory that never fails, and the presence that is always there when things get difficult. These 15 signs serve as a roadmap to understanding the man who is quietly falling apart, because he values your presence in his life more than he fears his own loneliness. By recognizing these behaviors, we gain insight into the profound depth of the male heart, a place where silence is often the loudest indicator of a love that is too big, too real, and perhaps too terrifying to put into words. He remembers the smallest details you mention. When a man loves you in silence, his mind becomes a repository for every fragment of information you share. While others might forget your favorite childhood memory or how you take your coffee, he treats these details like sacred knowledge. This level of attentiveness is a mechanical byproduct of his internal focus, because his world revolves around your presence. Your words carry more weight than anyone else's. He isn't just hearing you, he is studying you. This often manifests in hero moments, where he surprises you with something you mentioned months ago in passing. It's a quiet way of showing that you are heard and valued, without him having to risk a direct confession. For him, remembering is an act of devotion that stays safely under the radar, allowing him to care for you deeply, while keeping his internal struggle hidden from view. His body language subconsciously mimics yours. This phenomenon, often called mirroring, is a powerful physiological response to deep emotional synchronization. When he is silently breaking inside because of his feelings, his subconscious mind takes over where his voice fails. If you lean in, he leans in. If you cross your legs or use specific hand gestures, you'll notice him doing the same moments later. This isn't a conscious effort to copy you. It is a biological sign that he is completely in tune with your energy. It shows a profound level of comfort and a desire to build a bridge between your two worlds. By mirroring your stance and movements, he is physically aligning himself with you, creating a silent bubble of intimacy. It's one of the most honest giveaways of attraction, because it is nearly impossible to fake or suppress when the emotional connection is that intense. He becomes protective in crowded or unfamiliar spaces. A man who loves you silently often feels a deep-seated responsibility for your well-being, which intensifies when he can't openly claim a role in your life. In a busy room or a chaotic street, you might notice him positioning himself between you and the crowd, or placing a steadying hand near the small of your back without actually touching you. This protective instinct is a primal reaction to the value he places on your safety. He is constantly scanning the environment to ensure you are comfortable and secure. Because he cannot tell you he loves you, he speaks through his vigilance. It's a bittersweet behavior. He acts as your guardian while remaining a friend. A dual role that often causes him internal friction as he balances his natural urge to shield you with the need to keep his feelings a secret. Long, intense eye contact that he breaks quickly. The eyes are the hardest part of the body to control when hiding a secret as heavy as silent love. You may often catch him looking at you with a gaze that feels heavy, soft, and incredibly focused. In those seconds, he is likely letting his guard down and truly seeing you. However, the moment your eyes meet his, he will look away abruptly, perhaps toward his phone or across the room. This quick break is a defense mechanism. He is terrified that if you look too closely, you will see the longing and the breaking happening behind his pupils. This push and pull of eye contact is a constant cycle of desire and fear. He wants to be seen by you, but he isn't ready for the consequences of being discovered, leading to these brief electric sparks of unspoken recognition. He is always the first to offer help without being asked. For the man who loves you secretly, service is his primary love language. He looks for problems to solve in your life, so that he has a legitimate reason to be near you and be useful to you, whether it's fixing a technical issue, helping you move, or staying late to help you finish a project. He is always there before you even realize you need him. This constant availability is his way of weaving himself into the fabric of your daily life. By becoming indispensable, he finds a way to express his devotion without the vulnerability of a verbal confession. However, it's exhausting for him. He is essentially acting as a partner without the emotional security of being one. Every act of help is a silent, "I'm here for you," even if his lips remain sealed. Frequent checking in via text for no specific reason. When a man is silently in love, his digital habits become a reflection of his constant internal preoccupation with you. These checking in messages rarely have a functional purpose. They aren't about logistics or plans, but rather about maintaining a tether to your world. He might send a meme, a song recommendation, or a simple, "How is your day going?" just to initiate a connection. For him, every vibration of his phone is a moment of hope, and every reply from you provides a temporary relief from the weight of his unspoken feelings. He is essentially looking for excuses to keep the conversation alive, because your presence, even through a screen, is the highlight of his day. This frequent contact keeps him close to you, but it also creates a painful loop where he is constantly reminded of the friendship boundary he is afraid to cross. He distances himself when he sees you with someone else. This is perhaps the most visible sign of his internal struggle to show jealousy, so he compensates by withdrawing entirely to protect his heart. You might notice him suddenly becoming quiet, leaving the room, or taking longer to reply to your messages after you've mentioned another man. This isn't out of spite or anger toward you, but rather a necessary act of self-preservation. Watching you with someone else highlights the reality of what he is missing, and the breaking inside becomes too much to mask in your presence. His distance is a silent retreat into his own thoughts, where he can process his heartache without making you feel uncomfortable or guilty. His friends treat you differently or with subtle respect. A man's closest circle almost always knows the secrets he tries to hide from the world. If he loves you silently, his friends have likely seen the way. He looks at you when you aren't watching or heard. Him speak about you with a specific tone of reverence. Consequently, you might notice his friends treating you with an unusual level of warmth, protection, or even a bit of knowing awkwardness. They might clear a path for him to sit next to you or fall silent when you enter the room. This collective behavior is a reflection of the high regard he holds for you. While he may remain silent, his social environment reacts to the gravity of his feelings. Observing how his peers interact with you can provide a window into his heart, as they are often the inadvertent keepers of his secret affection. Deep, meaningful silence when you are alone together. There is a specific type of silence that exists between two people when one is harboring deep feelings. It isn't an awkward or empty silence. Rather, it feels heavy and charged with unspoken words. When you are alone with him, you may find that he is content just to exist in your space without the need for constant chatter. This silence allows him to appreciate your presence without the pressure of maintaining a facade. However, it is during these quiet moments that his internal conflict is loudest. He might look like he's about to say something important, only to change his mind and offer a small, sad smile instead. For him, these quiet minutes are a double-edged sword. They offer the intimacy he craves but also highlight the immense distance created by everything he is choosing not to say. He values your opinion above everyone else's. In his eyes, your perspective holds a unique authority that no one else can match. Whether it's a major career decision or a trivial choice like what shirt to wear, he will seek your input and follow it with surprising dedication. This isn't just about being agreeable. It's a sign that he respects your intellect and tastes on a fundamental level. By prioritizing your opinion, he is silently acknowledging that you are the person he wants to align his life with. If you praise a specific trait or achievement of his, you'll notice him leaning into that area even more, as your validation is the only kind that truly matters to him. This deep-seated respect is a pillar of his love, proving that his feelings aren't just superficial attraction but a genuine admiration for the person you are. Subtle physical touches that linger slightly too long. When a man is deeply in love but hiding it, his desire for physical connection often leaks out through small, accidental gestures. These aren't overt or aggressive. Instead, they are fleeting moments, like a hand brushing yours while passing an object or a hug that lasts just a second longer than a typical friendly embrace. These touches are his way of grounding himself in your reality. Because he cannot hold your hand or pull you close, these micro-interactions become his only source of physical intimacy. He lingers because he is trying to memorize the feeling of your skin or the warmth of your presence, knowing that the moment the contact ends, he has to return to his role as just a friend. It's a bittersweet experience for him, a brief moment of connection followed by the sharp, internal reminder of the boundaries he cannot cross. He notices immediate changes in your mood or appearance. His silent love makes him an expert observer of your life, while others might not notice. A slightly different shade of lipstick or a subtle drop in your energy level. He picks up on these shifts instantly. This high level of sensitivity is a result of how much mental space you occupy. He is constantly scanning you, not out of judgment, but out of a deep desire to understand your internal state. If you are having a bad day, he is often the first to ask, "What's wrong?" Even if you are wearing a convincing smile for everyone else, this attentiveness shows that he is emotionally invested in your happiness. For him, noticing the small things is a way to care for you without using the word love, though the effort of constantly monitoring your well-being while suppressing his own needs is what truly breaks him inside. He invests time in learning about your hobbies. If you mention a niche interest, a specific book series, or a complex hobby, he will quietly go out of his way to learn about it. You might find him asking detailed questions about a topic he previously knew nothing about, or even starting the same TV show you recommended months ago. This isn't just about finding things to talk about. It's an attempt to understand the world through your eyes. By immersing himself in your interests, he feels closer to your soul. He wants to know what makes you tick and what brings you joy, so that he can be a better part of your life. It is a selfless form of devotion, spending hours of his own time on things he might not even like, simply because you do. It's his silent way of saying that everything important to you is automatically important to him. Nervousness or fidgeting, only when you are nearby. Even the most confident man can become a bundle of nerves when he is around the woman he loves, but can't have. You might notice him playing with his watch, fixing his hair repeatedly, or stumbling over his words when you enter the room. This physical restlessness is a manifestation of the intense energy he is trying to bottle up. His heart rate likely spikes, and his fight or flight response is triggered by the proximity of his greatest desire and his greatest fear, the fear of being rejected or exposed. This clumsiness is often endearing, but for him it is frustrating and exhausting. He wants to be cool and collected, but the breaking happening inside makes it difficult to maintain a perfect poker face. His body is essentially screaming what his voice is too afraid to say, resulting in a nervous energy that is unique to your presence. He prioritizes your happiness over his own comfort. The ultimate sign of silent love is a consistent pattern of self-sacrifice. He will go out of his way to make your life easier, even if it causes him significant inconvenience or emotional pain. This could mean helping you prepare for a date with someone else, driving you across town in the middle of the night, or giving up his own plans to support you through a crisis. He puts your needs on a pedestal because, in his heart, Your well-being is the highest priority. He doesn't ask for credit or anything in return. The act of seeing you happy or safe is his only reward. This martyrdom is the most painful part of his journey. He is giving you everything a partner would give, but without the title or the reciprocal affection, leading to a profound sense of loneliness that slowly breaks him down over time.